Hey, Luna. So, I want to talk about aging birds. We have an aging bird. Actually, we have several aging birds, but BeBe in particular is turning 17 this year. We love him so much. But he's got some declining health issues. Mainly, he's struggling to fly. Can't seem to fly up anymore. And so I came home from work today early because he had he's demonstrating really well right now. He had gotten on the floor and couldn't get himself back up. So anyway, he seems to make himself get around a little bit all right, but he struggles to he struggles to get himself where he needs to get. We've made some modifications and adaptations for Mango. There's Mango. Because she's also struggling. She's not flying anymore at all, actually. She hops pretty well, but you can see where we've modified her cage. Now, we did clean these cages recently, but of course now they're dirty, but added things like the platform perch, bigger perches for her to get around on, and then even a ladder from the bottom. She spends a lot of time in the bottom of the cage. So in order to monitor her, we actually have what we call the Mango camera. It's specifically pointed directly at where she usually hangs out, but you can also see we made an adaptation for the water bottle down at the bottom so that she always has water. I wouldn't worry so much about food because Shar feeds her a lot, so I'm not really worried about that, but it did concern me today when I saw BeBe on the floor and he was actually trying to climb up this orange gate, and there really was no place for him to go because it goes up underneath the table. So we had already made some adaptations here for him to be able to get on here so he could still play and forage. We even have a food bowl there. That's our leftover food usually. So I had originally we had a ladder going here, but we changed it to a boing, and you saw BeBe demonstrate that earlier. And we knew he had struggled getting on the floor a little bit, so we had already done this, but he had not figured that out. And I actually took a video earlier of BeBe trying to figure out how to get up, and Luna was on this ladder trying to show him, but he wasn't listening, I guess. So there's Luna. He still gets around pretty good. But we have a bunch of aging birds. So I just want to show you a couple of quick adaptations that we've made. We're going to be working on making some more adaptations for BeBe's cage. I moved his boing over a little bit so that he has easier access from his food up into his water up there. And it also allows him to access his tent a little bit easier. So you can kind of see that. Then, of course, this boing to get down so he can just kind of forage on this table as needed. He has this pen here, which allows him to play and forage. We always keep water here, too, and some more foraging toys. And he loves to go in Luna's cage. So we had already put this ladder, which was originally on his cage, going from here up to his cage. Now, after today's incident and having to go home from the office early, we had ordered already some stuff for him and for BeBe specifically. And so I have actually made a little ladder from this orange thing, which he was climbing on, all the way up here to a platform. And that's close enough for him to actually hop onto the table. So that should give him access back to his cage and water and food. And that's my biggest concern. BeBe's lost weight because he's getting older. His muscle mass is down. And I want to make sure that he always has access as a more geriatric bird to food and water. So there's Luna again. Hey, baby. And then I've got BeBe. He's on my shoulder right now. And if I can figure out how to switch it, I probably can't, but that's okay. There's BeBe chilling on my shoulder. Hey, BeBe. You say hi? It's really difficult when I can't figure out how to switch my camera around, but I'm trying to focus on him. But okay, anyway, there you go. You see him. Probably not in focus, but but we still have some birds that fly around. Luna here. We believe he is turning 15 or just turned 15 this year. Mango is turning 15 on August 4th. Which happens to be my birthday. So Shar, I believe, is 11. We did look into taking another geriatric bird in from a rescue, but he ended up not being relinquished because we do have an empty cage over here. So, you know, it's always, we try to take on our lovebirds and keep our flock and rescue birds. Thanks, Evie. If Evie hadn't passed, I probably would have never opened my home. So it was tragic, but I was, you know, it's one thing that I'm grateful for. Now, another thing I made, by the way, I saw BeBe climbing on this little travel cage down here. So I actually moved and turned this so that if he wanted to, he might be able to flap over towards that little disc. So that would also give him some more access to some, like a higher up if he needed to. So there's a tent and other stuff. We cleaned this thing. We've power washed the whole room recently. So everything's much cleaner at least. What are you doing down there, buddy? You trying to coax her down? I think she wants to stay up there. Or you got kicked off. Anyway, I just want to kind of show you some adaptations, you know, things to consider as your birds age. The position of perches are a big thing. You don't want your birds, you know, falling or struggling to get around, especially where the food and water is. So be sure. Also, if you have more than one bird in one cage, you should always have a bowl per bird. See, I've got a bowl per bird. Actually, we put pellets up here high for Shar because he likes to get stuff that's from his previous mama. So, but yeah, so that's kind of the adaptations. You see I put some toys down there too for her. Always trying to make sure that there's always stimulation. The other birds keep each other stimulated, which is always important when you have geriatric birds. I believe that that's what allowed Peeper to live as long as he did. And I know BeBe misses Peeper. I miss him, so Josh misses him. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to show you today. It's just a few adaptations to make for your geriatric birds. Hit me up in the comments if you have questions. And of course, follow our Facebook page is where we do most of our posting. We'll post this on YouTube and link it over to Facebook. Thanks.